There's been a spike in overdose deaths in New York recently. This is from Vice. They say fentanyl-laced coke may be killing New Yorkers. The two drugs were found in the systems of 37% of lethal overdose victims in the city last year, up from just 11% the year before. On Thursday, the New York City Health Department announced that it had seen a sharp increase in fatal overdoses involving a combination of fentanyl and cocaine over the last year, and had warned thousands of city health providers to educate any patients who use cocaine casually. Fentanyl is an opioid similar to morphine, but it's completely synthetic and about 50 to 100 times more potent, according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Okay, so I'm going to make this as simple as possible for people. You wouldn't have nearly as many overdoses if you didn't have the drugs laced with fentanyl. You wouldn't have the drugs laced with fentanyl if drugs were regulated. How do you get drugs to be regulated? You either legalize them or decriminalize them. Because when you have them illegal, that means they're underground on the black market, and that's where there's no quality control. There's no product control. There's no regulation of the product. They can cut it with whatever the fuck they want to cut it, and you're at the mercy of whoever made the drugs and whoever the drug dealer is. So we know what the answer is, but nobody ever brings it up. Nobody ever discusses it. So my question is, do we just not give a shit about everybody overdosing on drugs? Let's just admit that then as a society. Like, okay, we don't care. If you overdose on drugs, go fuck yourself. You had it coming. If that's where you are, I mean, there are people who are there. You know, we all know what the fucking leader of the Philippines is doing like a genocide against drug users. But he's on the record, hey, I hate him. Even though he is one, by the way, because he takes fentanyl. He said, oh, it was prescribed, so it's different. But here, we're supposed to be better. We're supposed to care. We're supposed to realize, hey, it's a medical thing, and maybe we should have rehab and treatment, and we should help people. Nope. We're going to lock you in a cage for doing drugs that tweak your consciousness. And so we're going to ruin your life as a result of it. Or, you know, you just OD because the product sucks because we have it illegal, and we don't want to do the hard work. We don't want to decriminalize it and regulate it or legalize it and regulate it, even though that's the answer, and you would prevent overdose deaths. I mean, that just would happen. All the deaths are tied, so many of them, 37% of overdose deaths are tied to fentanyl laced to drugs, whether it's heroin or cocaine. 37%. So you could cut it down 37% if you can get the fentanyl out. And the only way to do that is to legalize it or decriminalize it. So these are the answers. They're politically incorrect answers, for sure. People won't like hearing it, but it's true. And by the way, you also increase freedom and liberty and safety if you were to decriminalize and regulate or legalize and regulate.